It is fitting that the AI industry chose Independence Day to publish its Dependency Ledger. In the last 24 hours, every layer of the stack stood up and declared exactly who it depends on and what it now intends to charge, or pay, for that dependence. This is the signal for July 4th, 2026. I am Matt Suhil-Matas, and my argument today is simple. The AI stack is not decoupling. It is converting hidden dependencies into explicit, priced, governed contracts. Start with compute independence. Meituan, China's food delivery giant, released Longcat 2.0 under an MIT license. 1.6 trillion parameters, a mixture of experts' design activating about 48 billion per token, and a reported 59.5% on SWE Bench Pro, nominally above GPT 5.5. Those numbers are vendor reported, so treat them as directional. The claim that matters is the hardware. Meituan says the model was trained entirely on 50,000 domestic Chinese chips. No NVIDIA anywhere in the run. Meanwhile, the American frontier stayed noisy but unverifiable. Elon Musk says Grok 4.5 is in private beta at SpaceX and Tesla, with internal evals close to, perhaps exceeding Opus. No public benchmarks exist. Business Insider reports Meta's watermelon model matches GPT 5.5 using an order of magnitude more compute. Source to a closed briefing. Both claims may be true. Neither is verifiable today. The frontier increasingly announces itself through unfalsifiable channels, while the verifiable action happens in open weights. The data engineering story of the week is the training data supply chain itself. Cloudflare, which fronts roughly a fifth of the web, named its new policy content Independence Day. From September 15th, agent crawlers and training crawlers are blocked by default on ad-supported pages, and mixed-use bots inherit the strictest rule. Pay-per-crawl is evolving into pay-per-use, where publishers charge when content creates value. For a decade, we treated the open web as a free upstream source. That assumption now has a meter attached. On July 3rd, Anthropic shipped spin caps, model-level entitlements, effort controls, and real-time spin alerts for Claude Enterprise. Read that feature list twice, and you realize what it is. The tooling for enterprises to govern their dependence on Anthropic, sold by Anthropic. The same week, Palantir chief executive Alex Karp called Frontier pricing a wealth tax on business. Self-serving, sure, but the gap he points at is real. $25 per million output tokens at the top, while open-weight alternatives approach the marginal cost of hosting. Governance gave us the whole spectrum in one news cycle. Court emails show Pentagon Undersecretary Emma Michael telling Dario Amodei there is no distinction between defensive and offensive weapons, and Anthropic refusing autonomous weapons and mass surveillance. In writing, OpenAI reportedly went the other way, offering Washington a 5% equity stake, roughly $42.6 billion. One lab is litigating to keep the state out of its model. Another proposes making the state a shareholder, and a draft jailbreak severity framework aims to make sure the next borderline finding does not trigger another 19-day shutdown. Now follow the money. Crunchbase's half-year report says global venture funding hit a record $510 billion in 6 months. $217 billion of that, 43%, went to exactly two companies, OpenAI and Anthropic. Two firms now absorb more venture capital in 6 months than the entire global market deployed in a full year of 2019. The financial system is acquiring a dependency on two private balance sheets faster than any regulator is writing it down. Now the warning label. On July 3rd, Google's threat intelligence group, the FBI, Women, shadows of her NIRS criminal investigation disrupted NetNut, a residential proxy network built on more than 2 million hijacked consumer devices, smart TVS, streaming boxes, Android hardware, silently enrolled to hidden software kits. In a single June week, 316 distinct criminal and espionage clusters routed operations through suburban living rooms. Every one of those households carried a dependency they never agreed to and could not see. One layer down sits Bad Apple, disclosed July 3rd, a use after free race in the Linux kernel's epoll subsystem, the event mechanism nearly everything depends on. It lets an unprivileged local user gain root through a race window roughly 6 instructions wide. A fix is out, and no exploitation has been seen in the wild. But here is the detail I cannot stop thinking about. An AI Frontier model reviewing the same code caught the adjacent bug, and missed this one sitting right next to it. AI code review is real. It is not coverage. Lay the week's entry side by side and the pattern is unmistakable. China converted a chip dependency into domestic capability and open sourced the result. Publishers converted free crawling into a metered market. Enterprises got tooling to convert frontier API dependence into capped, audited budgets. Anthropic converted its ethics into contract language while policing access to itself. And OpenAI proposed converting regulatory risk into shared equity. Implicit ties became price contracts right across the stack. So, 5 moves. 1. Price your data supply chain before September prices it for you. 2. Treat model spend as a governed budget, with caps, entitlements, and a tested exit path to open weights. 3. Quarantine vendor-reported benchmarks until someone independent replicates them. 4. Write your red lines down before a customer or a government writes them for you. And 5. Hunt the unpriced dependencies, the software kit in the firmware, the EPOL under the runtime, the I-reviewed it assurance. The ledger you do not keep is the one that gets settled against you. The stack is not decoupling. It is invoicing. Independence, and infrastructure as in geopolitics, is never the absence of dependence. It is dependence made visible, negotiated, and priced. I am Matt Suhil Mattis. This has been The Signal. Happy Independence Day, and I would love to hear how you see it.